Speaker of House of Representatives Yakubu Dogara has called on the ministry, department and agency to ensure that 2019 budget's implementation surpasses 45% mark. Dogara, who made the call while declaring open a national hearing on the 2019 budget, stated that a 70% performance will suffice in rewriting what has been norm over the years.
Since this is the last budget in the life of the 8th National Assembly, the time is not on our side. We would like to make haste slowly. Heads of MDS can help in this noble effort by making appearances in good time before their relevant committees to defend their estimates, as some have started doing, which is commendable, and we must commend the heads of MDS who have already appeared before their relevant committees to defend their budget estimates. And let me also say that what happened last year, when some heads of MDS refused to appear before their relevant committees to defend their estimates until a presidential directive compelled them to do so, must never repeat itself this year if we were to finish the processing of this budget as early as we want to. We hope to pass the appropriations bill as soon as we convene from suspension of plenary. I will now conclude until I have urged the executive arm to be prepared to muster the will to honestly and diligently implement this year's budget when passed into law and improve on the abysmal low and poor budget performance rate that has been the hallmark of our national budget for many unbroken years.
He also stated that 2019 appropriation bill will be appraised properly to shape the budget into a document that captures national values and priority. Dogara added that the integrity of the project selection process has always been the bane of Nigerian national budget, and if the problem are not eliminated, the budget will always remain unimplementable. On his part, the chairman of Senate Committee on Appropriations, Senator Danjuma Guje, explained that the hearing offered an opportunity for lawmakers to get the perspective of the people on proposed distribution of the national commonwealth.
The main objective of this hearing is to promote an all-inclusive and active stakeholder participation in the process leading to the passage of the 2019 budget. As active promoters or defenders of good governance, it is our hope that your contributions today will help the National Assembly achieve its pledge to the Nigerian people, which is in tandem with the federal government roadmap as expressed in the Economic Recovery Growth Plan, ERGP 2017-2020.
Also present at the session were the Minister of Finance as well as the National Budget and National Planning.
We have to make sure that the budget can be financed, and it is to ensure that we do not keep on increasing the level of borrowing. And that is why we have brought down the budget size. We brought it down so as to keep the deficit, within financeable limits. And so that is why we have a budget of 8.83 trillion naira.
Considering the fact that that is not yet a full year performance, and also that we have revenue challenges, I would say that it's a good effort. But we do have, like Senator Roma has pointed out, significant challenges in terms of revenue. So for revenue to perform at the rate of 55% for a full year is a case of great concern for us, especially in the Ministry of Finance. So we have been preoccupied in the Ministry of Finance, putting in place strategies to drive revenue so that the 2019 revenue performance will be better, much better than that of 2018. And also to restate that some of the efforts that have been put in place are already showing positive results, to the extent that the 2018 revenue performance was 40% larger than that of 2017. So what we have in place now at the Ministry of Finance is a new revenue initiative, a revenue growth agenda that we call a strategic revenue growth initiative. These initiatives are segregated into 3 thematic areas, and we are appealing to the National Assembly to support us in driving this, because it involves vigorously monitoring the performance, especially of the government-owned enterprises that are responsible for delivering the independent revenue that are projected in our budget.
President Muhammadu Buhari Thursday in Abuja said the dignity of public servants who work tirelessly and sacrifice for the greatness of Nigeria will be restored, assuring that the federal government will rev up the process of sanitizing pension system. Speaking at the launch of the micro-pension plan organized by the National Pension Commission at the State House Conference Center, Abuja, President Buhari said retired public servants deserve better treatment and effective service that meets their needs to carry on after retirement, promising to remove the rot within the pension system.
I assure all Nigerians that this government remains committed to resolving all pension issues on pension payment in the federal public sector, despite the lean resources of the government. The dignity of retired public servants who sacrifice their lives for this country will be restored. We will ensure all hardworking Nigerians in the private sector, both formal and informal, can retire without fear. We have already started on this journey. We must all come together to ensure these reforms are fully implemented and their positive impact is felt by the rightful beneficiaries.
President Muhammadu Buhari noted that the micro-pension plan was designed as a follow-up to some of the reforms in the economy over the past few years.
This initiative was designed specifically to capture those citizens that are not fully captured in the formal corporate sector. Today, millions of traders, farmers, and other entrepreneurs in various cottage industries are completely excluded from the different pension programs in existence. If you recall, one of the 3 core pillars of this government is the creation of a diversified and inclusive economy. This can only be achieved by creating an enabling environment for farmers, entrepreneurs, and same people in other professions. The program guarantees that when these hard-working citizens retire, they can still live in dignity and comfort.
At the event, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, said the new scheme will provide more security for Nigerians in the informal sector and expand the country's pension coverage as well as boost the economy.
Today's formal launch by Mr. President will mark the commencement of marketing and enrollment of participants to the micro-pension plan by the licensed pension operators. We expect that within few years of implementation, the micro-pension plan will not only expand the pension coverage to a greater number of Nigerians, but will boost the quantum of the pool of long-term pension assets available for economic development. Your Excellency, this narrative aligns perfectly with this administration's policy on refocusing the economy on the path of diversification and sustainable growth.
In her opening remarks, the Acting Director General of the National Pension Commission, Hajia Aisha Dahir Umar, said the contributory pension scheme had recorded huge successes since it was launched in 2004.
The micro-pension plan targets a significant majority of Nigerians' population who incidentally operate in the informal sector. Some of the participants expected from the various informal sector groups include the Market Women Association, workers in the movie and performing art industry, Keke Napep Okada Riders Association, single professionals like the lawyers, accountants, journalists, members of the Textile, Garment and Tailoring Associations, members of Nigerian Union of Transport Workers Association, and many, many others.
The event is one of its kind in the nation that is specifically designed to cover the informal sector. From Abuja, I am Festus Ejirog Enefifen for Ben Television.
Amadu Fitri of PDP has emerged the winner of Adamawa governorship election. The returning officer of the election, Professor Andrew Aruna, who declared the result on Thursday in Jola after the supplementary election in 44 units across the 14 local government areas of the state, said Fitri polled 376,552 votes to beat his close rival, Governor Muhammadu Bindo of APC, who scored 336,386 votes. He said that Senator Abdulaziz Nyako of ADC scored 113,237 votes to place third, followed by Chief Emmanuel Bello of the SDP, who scored 29,792 votes. Aaron said the total vote cast was 899,097 votes, out of which 871,307 votes were valid and 27,790 votes invalid. Fitri was the Speaker of the Adamawa House of Assembly in 2014 and also served as acting governor in July 2014 following the impeachment of the then Governor Murtala Nyako. Stakeholders in the nation's power sector have expressed divergent views on the call by the national leader of All Progressive Congress, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for the federal government to revisit the privatization of the sector. The federal government handed over the nation's generation and distribution companies to private investors on November 1st, 2013, following the unbundling of the defunct Power Holding Company of Nigeria. Tinubu at the 11 Bola Tinubu colloquium in Abuja urged the government to revisit the privatization of the sector, saying the country could not afford to be too legalistic about it. He advised the government to bring experts together for more constructive reform to improve the power generation, transmission, and distribution by any means necessary. He also said the government should push for an end to the practice of estimating billing, adding that the people were being forced to pay for electricity they did not consume. He described the estimated bill as a vestige of the past that should not accompany Nigeria into the future. The former Lagos State governor said President Muhammadu Buhari's second-term administration should dedicate itself to changing the very structure of Nigerian economy for the better, as no government has done. Ekiti State Governor Kayode Fayemi has floored the People Democratic Party candidate in the last year governorship election in the state, Olushola Eleka, at the appeal call. A Thursday judgment, the appeal court in Abuja affirmed Fayemi victory at the July 14, 2018 governorship election in the state. The judgment was unanimous as the three-man panel led by Justice Stephen Ada dismissed the appeal filed by Eleka. Ada stated that the appeal by Eleka lacked merit and upheld Fayemi victory at the poll. Ada said the court resolved all the 7 issues raised against the appellant in favor of the respondent, Fayemi, INEC, and APC. The court, which had conducted an hearing on appeal earlier on Tuesday, dismissed the case in its judgment for lack of merit. Justice Tinuade Akomolafe Wilson and Emmanuel Agim agreed with the lead judgment delivered by Justice Ada. The summary of the judgment given on Thursday lasted more than 30 minutes. The Independent National Electoral Commission had last year declared that Fayemi and his party, All Progressive Congress, polled a total of 197,459 votes to defeat Eleka of the PDP, who posed second with 178,121 votes in July 14, 2018 election. Dissatisfied with the outcome, PDP and Eleka have filed their petition before the State Election Petition Tribunal, which sat and delivered its judgment in Abuja. The petitioner alleged, among others, in their petition that election was marred by a lot of wrongs, including non-compliance with Electoral Act. But the tribunal on January 28, 2019 dismissed their petition and affirmed the result declared by INEC. The petitioner further appealed to the Court of Appeal, raising 7 issues against the judgment of the tribunal.